Under-19s, it's a preliminary final replay. Richmond up against Geelong, live from the MCG. Richmond were looking down the barrel early in the final quarter last week as they trailed the Cats by 3 goals. But the young Tiger Cub fought back to take a 10-point lead. But then it was the Cats' turn. Back they came, and when Andrew Wills goaled after the siren, the scores were locked together. The Tigers had their chances, but it wasn't to be. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to that one day in September here at the MCG in Melbourne. And what a day it's going to be. Will it be a day for Hawthorn or will it be a day for Geelong? By 5 o'clock tonight, we shall know. We've got a very good day for football here in Melbourne at the moment. We've got a temperature of around 17 degrees. It is cool, slightly overcast. There has been a forecast of perhaps 1 or 2 showers, but at the moment they look a long, long way off. Really, it's an ideal day for football, and we're starting off proceedings with a replay of the preliminary final between Geelong and Richmond. They both took to each other last week, and when they were all left standing at the final, siren scores were dead level. And it's pretty tight again today. At quarter time, it was a great start by Richmond. They led 6-8-44 to Geelong 5-2-32. The second quarter has just got underway, and there's a little bit of spite creeping into the game. Joining me in the commentary position today will be North Melbourne Under-19's coach Denis Pagan, so too Bernie Quinlan, and as we welcome them, it's good morning to Peter McKenna.
Good morning, Sandy, and it certainly has livened up in this quarter, and here's a chance for Geelong with a left foot snap at the goals by Darren Jones. I think the mark, no, it was touched right on the line, the goal umpire suggested, and another point on the board to Geelong, which takes the score under 5 goals for 6. Trailing the Tigers on 6 goals 8, and Denis Pagan, I would imagine Richmond would be favourites to win this game.
Well, it looks like it at this stage. I suppose Geelong were disadvantaged with losing 4 of their better players or prime movers to the reserves this week, but it's a funny game, football. You never know what can happen. The Cats are hanging in there at the moment and attacking.
Well, Geelong taking the ball down to half-forward. That was Matthew Payne bringing it to the half-forward line, but a good mark taken down there for the Tigers by Walker. He's been a pretty solid player so far in this game. Seems to be playing at centre-half back. That kick around the boundary line in front of the Melbourne member stand, and the ball is over the line.
Dennis, what's the feeling with North Melbourne having to sort of sit and tread water for almost 3 weeks?
Well, the boys were very disappointed at first. We had a practice game last Saturday, and I got back to Sunshine, or Skinner Reserve Sunshine, and told them that it had been a tie. Well, you thought it was the end of the world, but they're up on their feet again, and they're very keen for next Saturday. They can't wait.
Do you think, Dennis, they should play extra time in a situation like that? And
well, I think it'll come in the under-19s and the reserves from here on in.
Here's a chance now for Richmond through Ryan, going deep into the forward line once again, but his kick drifts across the face of goal and goes out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Incidentally, Sandy, Stephen Ryan is the brother of Des Ryan, from, of course, who finished the season pretty well for Richmond first.
So the Tigers lead by 10 points at the moment. In front for the Cats is Ian Tompkins. Now he's behind as it's tapped over the back. The Tigers would be keen to see if they can score. They've got it in that zone, but the Geelong defence standing up pretty well. Here's Keast getting the long hand pass away. Now a chance for Geelong to go into attack as the kick came from Peters down towards the half-forward line. Pressure on the Richmond defence. Tackling's been good on both sides, and it is certainly continuing now. Caught on that occasion was Scott McDonald, and going back to take the kick will be Brian Collery.
Collery at half-back has gone short, had an option of 2 men, and the one who came in to take the mark was Stephen Cochrane. He's gone wide. Oh, pushing the back on Corey Young, who kicked 3 goals, incidentally, in the first quarter. This man on screen was easily the best man on the ground. Robbie Elliott, the captain of Richmond, as he brings it towards the forward pocket area. Number 6 for Geelong, Tompkins, has been pretty impressive too early in the game. He brings it around the wing. He's found a teammate there in Kent Butcher, a player with terrific ability. That was Young, getting it further afield to the half-forward line. Here's a long kick coming into goal for Richmond. It's another one on the board to the Tigers, and that was Elliott.
And Elliott's been a very good player. That's his 2nd goal. He's been in everything in that first quarter, probably Richmond's best player. Who would you be wanting to play next week, Dennis, if you had a chance here?
Well, it doesn't really worry me. I think both sides are going to be fractionally tired. I just hope it's tough, and I just hope they go right to the finish, and I hope it's last man standing.
Elliott, incidentally, has had 8 kicks and 5 hand passes. It's been a fine start by him. To bring you up to date with the goal kickers, firstly for Richmond, Elliott 2. Corey Young, as Peter said, has booted 3, and Nigel Gibbons has 1. Whilst for the Cats, Andrew Wills, who kept them in this final with a goal after the siren last week, has booted 2, and David Preston has 1. Shouldn't forget the one by Matthew Francis either for the Tigers, as from the centre bounce. No one able to get it clear. Trying hard was Bowden. Couldn't get it out, and so another bounce. Ground looks pretty good, Bernie.
Yes, excellent condition, Sandy. Surprising after a couple of months ago, it was a real bog, but it's come up surprisingly well.
Tremendous atmosphere too, even as we came in shortly before 8 o'clock this morning. Finals fever is well and truly here at the MCG, and it's great to see. Copping one high was Stephen Davey. So Davey to take it just forward of centre and send the Cats into attack. Kick from Davey is centred in towards half forward. Big pack of players, but the man standing in front and taking a good mark is Shane Cork.
It's a big boy, Dennis, for an under-19s player.
Yeah, very big boy. Wears the thigh pads, gives himself a lot of protection, and very aggressive, and he's probably one of the best marks in the competition.
So Cork directly in front, using the drop punt. Drifted it slightly to the right, but it looks okay for one behind.
A fairly ordinary kicking style, in fact. Bernie didn't go back very far.
No, Pete. No, he could do with a little bit of work on that side of his game.
Oh, there's a beautiful kick right out towards the half-back line. This is Bowden flying for it, son of former great Richmond ruck rover Michael Bowden. This is his son Sean, bringing it towards half-forward, punched away by the Geelong defenders. Towards the centre of the ground, trying to crash his way through was David Preston. As players pounce in on top of it, right in the centre of the ground will be a bounce. Umpires today are Irwin and Sigmont. It's been a very entertaining game so far under perfect conditions. This is Cochrane coming out of the centre, going wide to Young. He's already kicked 3. Ball will probably beat him over, and it does.
Yeah, the purple patch of a start. Young Dennis, what sort of a character is he?
He's a very strong and aggressive footballer, and he makes his presence felt at under-19 football, I can assure you of that.
Well, he's played 3 senior games this year, Corey Young, so must have a fairly high opinion of him. Here's a free kick, as you can see. And it will be going the way of Richmond at half-forward.
Young Steinholt, boy from Haileybury College.
Yes, well, he was captain of Haileybury College team. They're a very strong football team in the Associated Grammar Schools. A left footer from 45 metres. Steinholt, oh, beautiful kick. And the big fly was there, but it's a goal.
Chance for Geelong through Butcher. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. But it's not going to be on this occasion. The Tigers having a chance to go forward. The kick is only a short one, and good interception should see Geelong get out of trouble. They do from the centre. Got just under 16 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Butcher again getting the hand pass away to Keast. Keast with the kick going in towards centre half forward. No one able to take the mark. Off hands it comes. Drifts in towards the pocket. The Tiger defence should be able to clear this and do. Out towards Pickering on centre wing. And you can't miss him as a Pickering. Clever tap on because he was under pressure, but saw that he had a teammate and used Stephen Ryan to advantage. Now here go the Tigers. It was Cochrane who got the hand pass away. Quickly on to Teal. Teal goes in towards full forward. No mark taken by Young. Could be taken over the line, or will it be kept in play? Only momentarily. Throw in Richmond's left forward pocket.
Fairly physical game up to this stage, Dennis. And both sides very keen to get in that grand final to play against North Melbourne.
Well, there's no second chances today, Bernie, and all the boys are having a real red-hot go.
Throw in the pocket. Chance for the Tigers to increase this lead. Kick over the shoulder on that occasion was by Bowden. Again over the line, however. Seeing it over, Paul and Neil, the Cats. So a throw in again in this left forward pocket. Richmond lead 8-8. the Geelong 5-5. Pickering come over the top. Trying to get it out was Tompkins. Couldn't do so.
Geelong, of course, with 3 sides playing here today at the MCG, a great effort. And their under-19 side has lost 4 vital players up to the reserve grade team. Here's a free kick going the way of Geelong. It will go to Langsworth. The 4 players, Michael Mansfield, Denis Pagan, Tony Malakalis and Richard Hill. So it's bad luck for their under-19 side to lose those players. There's another mark to the big man, Shane Korth. Korth wide. Chance for his teammate out there in Preston. Couldn't take the mark, but here come the Cats. Charging down through the centre. This is Davey. Davey, a long kick to the pocket. A poorly directed one. Oh, big fly. The umpire's found a free kick. Will go the way of Richmond for on the shoulder.
Look at these 2 sides. You'd have to say football's in a fairly healthy state because there's plenty of talent playing in this under-19 game today.
Yes, you're right, Bernie. There are kids lining up all the time to get a chance at under-9-11. I think it's terrific football.
Matthew Francis on screen. Started off in the ruck when Ty Essler couldn't take his place in the Richmond side. Richmond starting to look a bit stronger than Geelong in this quarter. Come the Cats, though, through Davey again, wide. Again, also, he was looking for David Preston. He had 2 men to beat out there. Oh, good effort to go in and get it. Almost received a free kick there. And the umpire will come in and bounce. At half forward for Geelong. Scoreboard shows Richmond on top, 8-8, to the Cats 5-5.
Margin of 21 points favouring the Tigers. Early stages of the second quarter. Quick kick was by Prescott to the outer side. It drifts over the line, so a throw in at centre wing. Well, it's the start, or the continuation, I should say, after the football marathon, which you were a part of, Pete, of a great day of football on the Australian television network, because after this we've got the reserves grand final, and then at 2 o'clock it all gets underway with the seniors. At the moment we've got Geelong looking to go into attack. Preston looking to get the hand pass away, does so to McDonald. He is claimed, however. Wanted to try and get it on but was unable to do so. The Cats still in possession, drifting it out wide. There's 3 or 4 of them there. They should score here and do. Richmond 8-8, Geelong 6-5. Back in the centre once again. An opportunity there for Korth. Got it over the top. Plenty of Geelong players going past, and here's another shot for goal. It looks pretty good from Andrew Wills, and so the Cats suddenly coming back with 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes.
Yes, Geelong again winning the ball out of the centre, and numbers winning out again. 4 or 5 Geelong players charging at that ball. As we have a look at that replay, a good long handball out of the centre there by Shane Korth. 4 or 5 to 1 Tiger player, and finishing up with Andrew Wills, who kicks his 3rd goal.
Dennis, I thought that Richmond were getting right on top, but all of a sudden Geelong have hit back.
This is the way it went last week at VFL Park. There wasn't, you know, Geelong had a break of about 3 goals at half-time, and Richmond fought back. They're very even sides. You know, anything can happen on the day.
Well, here's a free kick for too high a tackle on the Geelong player there in Ashley Langsworth. He's at half-back. Big Korth is doing a lot of good heavy work now around that centre bounce area. That's making a difference to Geelong. That was a poor kick towards half forward. The punch away. Oh, Korth went in and missed it. Centre of the ground. The Tigers come away through Cochrane. Over the top. Finds his teammate in flight. Flight to half forward. The marker's dropped down there by Francis. Back towards the centre. Yeah, that looks like flight at the base of that pack again. Big red-headed man on screen is Jeremy Crow. It's a little bit like Michael Laffey from their first side. And I think, Dennis, was he drafted by the Eagles at one stage?
Yeah, I think in the end of the year draft last year, the Eagles picked him up, and then they decided with problems with, you know, in the environment over in Western Australia and travelling, they decided the kid didn't want to go or whatever, and Richmond picked him up in the March draft, I think.
It was Mawson not being able to trap the ball. It's at half forward for the Tigers. They've got a chance now through Ryan. Ryan, the little chip pass towards half forward. He was looking for Francis. Richmond player goes to ground. That was Gibbons. The full forward. He's already kicked 1 goal. He's a big rugged customer. Kicked a goal during the first quarter. It's in front of the Richmond goal. Francis trying to tap it down. Corey Young on the left foot. Quick kick over the shoulder by Richmond and through for a behind, and that was
Darren Flight.
That was Flight. I thought it might have been Cochran at first, but Flight has got the longer blonde hair.
Talking about Cochran, Pete, he's very lucky to be playing today. Reported last week, and the tribunal during the week got off with a suspended sentence, so he's a lucky boy to still be out on the ground today.
Well, there's Flight again. Back it comes to half forward for the Tigers. Some strong tackling by that Geelong defence. Kick off the ground. Round the main grandstand wing. That's the Melbourne members' wing, of course. The kick from Geelong is by Butcher. He's got a very big reputation. Number 12 for Geelong, Kent Butcher. It's still right out near the boundary line. The umpire said that's holding the ball, so it will be a Geelong free kick, and it will go to Darcy.
Darcy from centre wing. Going up towards court. No mark taken, but Geelong have players scouting. This is Payne. Short in towards half forward. An opportunity there for Preston if he's good enough to get away. He's not. A high tackle was on Robert Walker of Richmond, but the umpire let play go on. Also in there is Butcher again trying to get it out. Unable to do so, and so another bounce.
A lot of acting there. A few of the Geelong forwards trying to get free kicks. We'd have been better off getting the ball and putting on energies towards the football.
10 points in it. Caught. Unable to get a kick away. He has his left leg trapped. So another bounce. Crowd streaming in here to the MCG. And with the euphoria created by Geelong, it would be no surprise to see that magical 100,000 mark beaten today as Kent Butcher shoots in towards goal, off target once more.
Kent was the best and fairest in the Teal Cup competition for the Victorian country team. Played a very good game against the Metropolitan in the Thursday game and did very well. He's a very talented player.
Cork gets it down to Wills, and don't tell me he's kicked his 4th. He has 4 goals out of Geelong's 8, and all of a sudden the margin is just 4 points. So who knows, we could have a scenario played out today as was the case last week. Corth again, he's been in the thick of things trying to push it forward. On this occasion he's beaten by Ryan. Stephen Ryan on the outer side of the ground, sending the Tigers in towards half forward. Kick intercepted, however, and the mark is taken by Glenn Keast.
I'm sure Denis Pagan would like another draw, Sandy.
I think he'd be getting sick of it by then.
Well, here's the kick coming down towards the centre of the ground. Wills is really dominating in this quarter. Lovely pass out wide. Now did he play on? Umpire.
Yes.
Yes. Butcher. He would have had an easy shot at goal, so he made a big mistake there as the Tigers bring it around the boundary line. Hand pass comes across from Flight. Ooh, strong bump. The ball is transferred towards half forward for the Tigers. Waiting over the back is Keast. Oh, bad hand pass by Keast. Hand pass further afield to the Tigers to Francis. Francis, an open goal, pops it straight through the middle.
Yes, that's his 2nd goal. And a wayward hand pass there set that up for Richmond. The Geelong players playing well. They won the ball out of defence. And he handballed back into that centre corridor area, which gave the Richmond player coming through, Matthew Francis, an easy chance. Here's the bad handball back into that danger area. Francis coming through and an easy shot in at goal. So a bad defence there very bad by Geelong, and letting Richmond in for that goal.
Nine plays 8-5, so 10 points of margin again, but the Cats through Darcy towards the half forward line. Every time Richmond get a goal, they're able to retaliate. Geelong, this is Preston towards full forward over the back. Oh, there's a man waiting there. Clever play. Is this his 5th goal coming up, Wills? It is. Able to come back all the time, Geelong. They only trail by 4 points, and Wills proving a real danger. And smart play when he waited behind that pack. He's kicked 5. Let's see if they can go forward again. They can. It's a hand pass. Well, Ryan put on a strong tackle, and how will the umpire see that? He sees him holding the ball. Free kick to Ryan. Stephen
Ryan's kick out towards centre wing, and the mark's taken by Corey Young. Young's booted 3 goals for the Tigers. Kick falls short. No mark taken. Bounces off the chest of Lodge, but he's able to recover and get it away once again. Good tackling on that occasion by Butcher. Sees Geelong run free. Comes back to that player now. Sends him down towards half forward. And it'll be a Geelong mark at half forward. Is that Grundle? And he's lost it.
He reversed it.
Grundle kicked 8 goals in the Tide game last week. 8 goals straight. He hasn't kicked a goal so far today.
Steinholt gets it away quickly to a teammate, and Richmond go up towards half forward. Here's an opportunity for the Tigers as the shot goes in from James, but registers only one behind. So Adam James taking the Tigers to 9-10-64. Geelong 9-5-59. Less than a kick in it. Kneeled to bring it back into play. Good looking kick too. And almost a mark taken there by Darren Jones. He's going to bring it back. And the kick by Bowden going short in towards half forward. Butcher is there again. Can't get an effective kick away. An opportunity now for Lodge. High. Difficult one to grab. It's hammered towards the boundary line. 3 Richmond players giving chase. Cochrane slips at the crucial stage. Tries to get it out the back door. Can't do so. Pushed towards the boundary line. And eventually over. So a throw in on that outer side.
Are they known as physical sides, either of these two, Dennis?
I would say Richmond probably the more physical. Geelong play a very good open brand of football. And I suppose this is sort of what we've seen here today.
Well, that's a free kick for holding the man on Stephen Davey there at half-back. The umpire right on the scene, didn't miss it. Davey around the outer flank looking for Preston. Preston, cop one very, very high. Tigers desperately trying to get it out of defence as the punch-on comes around the boundary line and eventually it's forced over the line. Scoreboard shows 9-10 to Richmond. Geelong on 9-5, a great game of football. As we see Korth getting it down. That could have been a holding the man decision. It is on Kent Butcher. And easy to pick out with that mop of snowy hair. He's gone around the boundary line. Here come the Cats again as the ball is at half forward. The short pass is on. Oh, over the head of 2 forwards for Geelong. And, well, a poor pass made all the difference there. That could have been holding the man also. The umpire's just missing a little bit.
Yes, as often does happen in finals, they let the play go a little bit more. They seem to put the whistle away on many occasions during a final series.
22 for Richmond is Dallas Carnes. There's Korth, who's doing a lot of good heavy work. Now, this man was very dominant. Elliott in the first quarter, probably best man on the ground. He's gone around the boundary line. He's found a teammate there in Teal. Teal to half forward. The Cats desperately trying to get it out of defence. Oh, here's danger because Cochrane gets onto a loose ball, sets sail for home and slams it through again. 9-5, and we saw a shot of the runner there, Ian Owen, the former professional runner and centre half back for Richmond.
From the centre bounce, it's on centre wing. Butcher gets a bad bounce. He's had 14 possessions so far, Butcher, however. It's been a good performance by him. McDonald high to the half forward line. Offhands it comes, unable to take it cleanly was Davey, but he does have support in Powell. Powell, a high kick up towards the full forward area. It's a Geelong mark, and the Cats at the moment answering the challenge and staying in touch, but just unable to put their noses in front. They trail at the moment by 11 points.
This is Wills against Sandy, going for his 6th goal.
He's kicked 3 in this quarter, 2 in the first, and as Bernie said, could this be number 6? Has drifted it to the right on this occasion and just snuck it in for one behind. Our special guest is Denis Pagan, coach of the North Melbourne under-19s, and the start, Dennis, of a new era with John Kennedy saying farewell, but I guess he'll still be pulling a few strings there behind the back of Wayne Schimmelbusch.
Well, I think John's going to be in the background. If Wayne wants to use him anyway, I'm sure he will.
Elliott on the outer side. Goes wide, very wide. In fact, that'll beat players over the line on centre wing.
I'd like to ask Dennis one question. North, black big men for many years. Have you got any in the under-19s?
Well, there's a couple of big boys coming along, but it's very hard to say whether they're going to go on and bridge the gap. We've had a lot of trouble with our younger big boys. Probably 4 or 5 of them have had knee reconstructions, in some cases 2 or 3 knee reconstructions, and we really can't take a trick with the younger big blokes.
Here's Korth talking about big men. He's really had an influence on the game in this quarter. He's gone to half forward. Umpires paid the free kick for in the back, and it will go the way of Walker.
Yes, Korth's a good player, very big, solid boy. And playing with those thigh pads, he looks even bigger.
And this youngster too looks as though he could make a player. Robert Walker, he's been very impressive. The centre half back. There's a chance for Cochrane on the left foot towards half foot. Oh, running straight at the ball for the Cats was Tompkins. Tompkins to half forward. Over the back was Preston, taken off his hands by the Richmond player in Maxfield. He's gone wide to Elliott. Elliott in turn was looking further afield to Lindsay. Oh, a bit of a thump there. Lindsay's got it. Hand pass over the top to Corey Young, going for goal number 4. But he is offline, and through it goes for a behind.
Well, the 2 Geelong players there forgetting about the ball. They would have been far better off just keeping the eye on the ball, because the Richmond player charged through there, and they were very lucky, Geelong, that Richmond didn't kick a goal.
11 points the margin, close to siren time as it comes towards the half-back line for the Cats. In fact, there it is. It's half-time here at the MCG in the reserves preliminary final. Richmond lead, but only by 11 points. The Tigers 10-11, 71. Geelong 9-6, 60. So an 11-point margin, and at quarter time we found that Richmond led 6-8-44 to the Cats 5-2-32, so they've cut it by 1 behind, but Richmond at the moment, Pete, just able to hold them out.
Well, it's a very, very entertaining game. I'm enjoying it. There's some promising footballers out there, and early in that quarter I thought the Richmond were getting right on top. They were running the ball out of the centre, and they looked a little bit more physically stronger than the Geelong side, but every time I thought that, Geelong had bounced back with a goal, and they've had a good play down there in Wills. He's kicked 5 goals and has been very, very impressive, and it made a big difference when Korth went into the ruck and he really took over and did a lot of the heavy work.
So just repeating, they're having a bit of a chat too as they leave the ground. A little bit of feeling in this. Just repeating those half-time scores. Richmond lead 10-11, 71. Geelong 9-6, 60, and we'll be back at the MCG short. Concern. A replay in the preliminary final between Richmond and Geelong, with Richmond at the moment just having their noses in front. And then following this game, it'll be the reserves grand final, Geelong playing Fitzroy. And following that, of course, that one day of September has real significance, because out come the seniors. Hawthorn, in their 7th successive grand final, will be playing Geelong. So a big day for Geelong, with all sides being involved. It's going to be fantastic. Our coverage, of course, goes right throughout the day and concludes at 6 o'clock this evening. I should mention that the under-19s playing in the preliminary final today, that now means that North Melbourne will play the winner of this game at VFL Park next Saturday, and that game, for North fans in particular, gets underway at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So North Melbourne fans, it has been a long wait, but well, for your sake, let's hope it's worth it next week at VFL Park at 2 o'clock. I know one man who'd like to make sure that it is going to be worth it is Denis Pagan, the North under-19s coach, who's having a look with Peter McKenna to see who's going to be playing North next week. And at this stage, Denis, it looks as though it could be Richmond.
At the moment it does, Sandy, but still a long way to go, and Geelong keep coming back. I wouldn't like to pick the winner. I think it's going to be very hard, and I just hope that they just keep on going hammer and tongs like they have in the first half.
How did you see the first half, Pete?
Well, I thought 14 scoring shots, as Denis said, 14 scoring shots to 7 in the first quarter. Richmond could have really run right away with it, but every time Richmond looked like going away, they've been able to come back. Geelong, they seem to have a lot of spirit, Denis, the Geelong side.
They have. They've done very well. Andrew Wills has came into the play in the second quarter. I think he's got 5 goals to this date.
It seemed to make a big difference when the big man went into the ruck. Korth, he did a lot of heavy work when bustling and handballing tactics.
He's a very strong player, Shane Korth, and he makes his presence felt at this level.
We just saw that was one of 5 goals from Wills. Is he an outstanding player in the under-19 competition? There's another one on screen there. That
he's had a very good year. He's played about 10 reserve games, done very well in the Teal Cup.
Some of the other players that have impressed you, Quinlan for Richmond?
Oh, very talented footballer, very quick, very elusive. Always got to be guarded.
Although they only trailed by some 11 points, Dennis, I'm going to now transfer you to the coaching position of the Geelong under-19s. Would you make any changes, and what would you do at half-time?
Well, it's pretty hard, Sandy, for the Geelong boys. They've got, 4 or 5 their boys up in the reserves. I think they're doing a marvellous job just to hang in.
Well, let's have a look at the stats in the game so far to half-time. Richmond superior in the kicking department, the handballing department, marking in particular. Free kicks have gone the way of the Cats, so too have the tackles. The tackling by both sides has been very good. And the Richmond ruckmen just having their noses in front. So you can see from those statistics that Richmond have had more use of the ball, and it is showing on the scoreboard at the moment, but only by 11 points. We'll take a break and return to the MCG in just a moment for the second half of the under-19s preliminary final. Danger here for St Kilda as Fitzroy looks solid again. To Osborne. He picks it up, kicks. Good looking kick. It's a goal. What a goal.
For Melbourne, beautiful kick. 50 metres plus. There's a great mark to Mullane. Runs into goal from 50 metres. Darren Mullane. It's there.
As Burke leaves the ground. Ablett couldn't take the mark. Oh, he's a light, Gary Ablett. Look at this. Here is the magician at work. He shoots towards goal. What more can you say?
But he kept the ball in play. Johnson scoffed. Will he get a shot at goal? Well done from Scott. Snaps! Great goal if it's there.
Long to full forward. Lynch should have taken the mark once he got rid of his opponent. Still going, Alistair Lynch. Snap for goal. Look at this.
Welcome you back to the MCG. Wasn't it great to see some of those marvellous goals scored during the year? Just before we went to the break, we've got the Tigers coming back out onto the ground now. Geelong is already out, and it might be an opportune time, Dennis and Bernie, to have a look at a few individual stats, because there have been some very good performances by a number of players so far. Robbie Elliott, in particular, for Richmond, Dennis, has done extremely well.
He's been very elusive across the half-forward line, across the centre line, done a very good job to half-time.
And let's have a look now at Andrew Wills for Geelong. I guess, Bernie, his major stat is down the bottom, 5 goals.
It's very impressive, Sandy. 5 goals up to half-time, a very good performance and a real danger on that Geelong forward line.
Another one who's contributed in front of goal, Dennis, is Corey Young of the Tigers.
Yeah, started the game off in fine style. Sandy had a very good first quarter and kicked 3 goals and 4 or 5, 6 or 7 possessions in the first quarter.
Now let's have a look at Stephen Davey, who's also been busy. Bernie?
Yes, another busy Geelong player, a player who's got plenty of the ball in that first half. 7 kicks and 3 handballs up to half-time, and one of the good Geelong running players.
Whilst for Richmond, let's have a look now at Sean Bowden, who had a great first quarter, Dennis.
Did very well. One of their talented on-ball players, has had a pretty good finals series to date.
Okay, well, there were some of the players doing well. I think this might be an opportune time to put our special guest on the spot and look ahead to the big game this afternoon. Geelong and Hawthorn. Hawthorn, of course, Dennis, 7th successive grand final. Marvellous achievement. Geelong, on the other hand, looking for their first flag for some 26 years. Can they do it?
Well, I don't think they can. I'd like to see a good game for all the people here, but I think Hawthorn's grand final experience, and you can't buy that, will see them through at the finish.
What do you think, Bernie?
I'm going the other way, Sandy. I think the conditions out here are ideal for the Geelong High Flyers. They're a very skilled side. They learned a lot from that first finals game against Essendon, and I think they've got better as the weeks have gone by, and I think that they've got the hunger and the desire to just do it today, turn the tide and stop Hawthorn from winning back-to-backs.
We'll let Peter McKenna think about his choice for a moment as we get back to the under-19s preliminary final. The Tigers lead at the moment, but there's only 11 points in it. Keast goes to ground. Backup support from Mawson. Mawson for the Cats. Goes in towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Could be a Richmond ball, however. It will come back. Have to come back and kick over the mark, trying to sneak away with Stephen Ryan. But it comes back to centre half back. Short again. It was dangerous. Might finish up with Ryan. In fact, it does. He is claimed. Stephen Ryan tries to get the hand pass back once again. It's effective because the kick comes out wide towards the centre wing boundary line and in fact drifts over. That kick coming from Robert Walker.
Interesting about Stephen Ryan. He's the man who could have won the game for Richmond last week, Dennis.
Yeah, he took that mark in the goal square and didn't play on. Probably someone around him not talking, and he went back for his kick and he missed it and rebounded very quickly, and Andrew Wills took the mark and kicked the goal on the siren.
Well, here are the Cats coming forward again through Darcy after receiving from Keast towards half forward. Trying to crash his way through was Calms. He ends up with the ball. Too good play by Dallas Calms as he comes round the half-back line. Plenty of poise on that left foot as he brings it up towards Pickering, who looks very much like his older brother Michael. And same hairdo, Bernie.
If he had the same head, Peter, they'd look exactly the same, wouldn't they?
Look, he's a spitting image of his brother. I think you're having a go at me. This man's done some nice things. This is Matthew Payne. First quarter, he did some excellent work for Geelong. The ball was fisted away. A chance for the Cats through McDonald. Oh, should have been a free kick for in the back. The umpire said no. Ryan across the ground has found Cochrane, who's been very impressive. Classy player, Stephen Cochrane. Hooks it back to the centre. That was good vision. He's found a teammate there, Steenholt. As he comes he ran straight into a man. A Geelong backman coming towards him. He should have tried to dodge him. There's Peters. Further afield it comes. The Cats desperately trying to come through the centre with the ball. It's punched on by Mawson. That Brad Mawson. That was a good play. Peters again in after it. The big man in the centre of the ground. The umpire will come in and bounce.
Oh, that was a great opportunity there for Richmond. But Steenholt had two Richmond players he could have handballed over to and ran straight into the Geelong defender.
Well, this is the quarter that makes or breaks football matches. 10-11 plays 9-6. So that's 11 points the margin. Or Cochrane went to ground. His teammate in there was Flight, and the umpire's found a free kick. It will go the way of Darren Flight. Now he's got a loose man out wide. Some bad checking there by Geelong. Mark has dropped though, and that gives the Cats a chance, and they talked the umpire into that one. Good play by Brad Mawson, who appealed to the umpire for holding the ball.
Richmond's plan obviously to have Ryan running down the ground from centre half back, running away from Korth, who's not the quickest player, Dennis.
No, well, Stephen Ryan's been able to do that all through the final series, whether he's played up on the forward line, in defence, even on the wing, he's been able to run loose on many occasions.
Korth, a hand pass further afield. It could be a goal to Butcher. It is. Points the margin. The Cats hit back. Here's the Adam James trying to get his boot the ball, but he was stripped, and it'll be his free kick in the centre of the ground. Richmond not being able to shake off this Geelong side at the moment. Oh, that's a free. Should have been a free kick to Geelong for a push in the back. Cochrane loses it. The Cats able to bring it out of defence again. Oh, good play though by Elliott. He's kicked too, the captain of the Richmond under-19s. Geelong desperately trying to take it away from defence. That was good football. That was by the full-back. That was Neal. Good play by the Cats. Here they come again. They get a favourable bounce to Peters. Hand pass over the top is from Neal. Further afield it went to Paul. And the Cats with a real chance here as Preston a handball into the goal square. Into an open goal goes Jones, and the Cats have hit the front.
Yeah, well, it's been a very tight game, and neither side can break away. I just hope that it keeps on going like this. These boys, could give the impression that they're going to be very tired by the end of the day.
I get the feeling that Denis Pagan's a sadist.
Look at that hand pass. I think he wants them all tired, and he wants a few injuries, and meet North Melbourne next week. But that was beautiful play. That would result in the goal by Jones, but good team play by Geelong.
It certainly has. It's been a terrific game. It's been a real good game to watch.
And look at the Cats crowd, Sandy.
Oh, it's been a tremendous build-up that began here at the MCG very early this morning, and Geelong go into attack again through Davey. He's booted one, goes down towards the forward pocket region. Tap clear, however. Now real pressure on this Tiger defence as Geelong, for the first time, hit the front in this game. They lead by a point. Goes over the top on that occasion of Powell of Geelong. He does have backup support from Paul. Paul gets the hand pass away. Cats doing it pretty well at the moment. Peters sweeps the hand pass over the top. Could be a free kick going the way of Geelong. It will, and it'll be taken by Stephen Davey.
Oh, lucky.
So Davey from centre wing, drifting it in towards that half-forward region, and the mark is taken by Korth. Been dominant, particularly in the second quarter. Korth's kick is high. Coming over the top, trying to fend it away is Robert Walker, but in the process, he has given away the free kick with a push, and this could see the Cats all of a sudden 7 points clear. You wouldn't argue with this one, Dennis?
No, Simon Grundle does sometimes play for the free kicks. He got it that time. Simon shooting for his first goal of the match. Kicked 8 straight last week. I couldn't see him missing this.
76 for the season. Grundle shoots towards goal. He's put it through. So Cat fans would be happy at the moment. In this preliminary final of the under-19s, their side leads by 7 points, but still a long, long way to go. From the centre bounce, it's Tompkins who kicks Geelong into attack, but only as far as that half-forward line because the mark was taken by Glenn Teal. Teal drifting it back towards Richmond's right half-forward area. They need a steadier now. Trying to get it out was Rice. Still going on the outer side. Gets a hurried kick up towards that left half-forward flank area, but that'll be out of bounds on the full. So the Cats steady at the moment. They lead by 7 points. Neal's kick back towards centre wing once again. Oh, the tackle was too high, surely, on Anthony Darcy. And Darcy will take it on that outer side.
Incidentally, Sandy, Darcy was the recipient of the VFL Life Members Scholarship Award, which gives a young player $1,000 worth of school expenses for the year. So the VFL Life Members starting that for the first time this season.
And a very nice gesture. Ryan. No one on the mark, so he says, away I'll go, and he does, and he kicks long from one side of the square, deep down towards the half-forward zone. If the Tigers got anyone going past, under pressure, he pulls the kick back in towards goal. It is off target, however, and one behind is the result. Stephen Cochrane was the man who booted it. He kicked the goal in the second quarter. Richmond moved to 10-12. And Geelong are 12-6, so one straight kick in it, Pete.
Well, they played a draw last week, and this is a very evenly contested game again. Richmond, the favourites, but Geelong, well, they're really serving it up to them. Here's a chance for the Tigers, though. Cochrane, an open goal, straightens up and pops it straight through, and the score's a level.
Well, it couldn't happen again, surely. Another draw. You'd be right off the boil by then, Dennis.
Yeah, I think they'd have to let it go an extra 5 minutes.
Yes, I think we'd have to find a rule for today's match. Having a look at the replay, the numbers at the ball again, Richmond. And spilling out there to Stephen Cochrane, who kicks his second goal. And these two sides are very evenly matched. There's not much in it. Good tall players, some good running players in both sides. And a good exhibition of football by these young sides.
And he looks a real teenager, Stephen Cochrane. He's got a lot of class. Here come the Tigers again. Oh, smothered beautifully off the boot. It was by McDonald. Umpire calls play on as the Tigers come through the centre. There's Elliott feeling for the free kick. The Cats, though, is a big chance. As we see, having a shot for goal. That was Butcher. He's just offline and through from behind, but that takes them to the lead. A very tight contest. He's got a lot of class, this young player, Kent Butcher. As Denis Pagan said earlier, an All-Australian Teal Cup member.
Had a good day too, Pete. 15 possessions so far.
Excellent player. Towards half-back, there's Cochrane. He's caught. Oh, that's a good sign. 3 Geelong players came at him. Here's McDonald. A quick hand pass. Further afield to Darcy. Darcy to half-forward. The bounce will favour the Richmond player on this occasion in Teal. He can't pick it up. In after it was pain for Geelong, and odds will be on here, I think. There might have been a couple thrown in that pack. It's out on the half-forward line for the Cats. Now, who's going to get the free kick? It might be a Geelong free kick, I feel. call it be a bounce. A bounce. 1 point the difference, the Cats in front.
And it is a bounce just inside 50. Might pick out a free kick here. In fact, has, just to clear things up a little bit. So Geelong a chance to go forward again, just outside that 50-metre line. The drop punt, it'll be centred in towards Grundle. Had to beat 2 players on that occasion, could not do so. The mark taken by Matthew Francis. Francis sweeps it out wide for the Tigers. Again, weight in numbers, but they may just about get claimed. Garnes got caught, bringing it back into play is Butcher, hooks it high and wide, and we will see a throw-in in Geelong's left forward pocket.
Those Geelong forwards working very hard to make sure that the ball doesn't get out of that out of the Geelong forward line, and it's good to see that from the forwards working so hard.
Butcher in particular working well. Peters had front spot. They go to ground, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Dennis, how did North go against these two sides during the home and away?
We beat Geelong on the both occasions. One was the last one we played at Canadian Park was a very close one. Richmond, and we beat them early in the year pretty easily, and they thrashed us at Lakeside about 5 or 6 weeks ago. Richmond did.
Peters kicks in towards full forward. It was almost a mark to Grundle. And I think he's a little upset that it wasn't paid. So a bounce almost in the square, a point the difference. Geelong leads. Korth tries to take it out of the air, couldn't do so. Corey Young may have given a nudge. He has, said the umpire. Now he's not impressed.
They've got plenty to say to the umpire, these young blokes, Dennis, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good thing, actually. I think it goes against them in the final washout. I think you're better off just putting all of your energies in getting the football.
Well, I suppose that comes from experience. They'll learn a bit as they get older.
Certainly will.
Brad Mawson from 20 metres out. Now he's stripped that right across the face of goal and has gone out of bounds on the foot. So an opportunity going begging on that occasion. Yeah,
Brad Mawson's played most of his football this year in defence and has had a very good year with Geelong. Up on the half-forward line shooting for goal, wasn't successful.
Kick out towards the half-back line. Butcher trying to do the punch on. Geelong player trying to pick up the ball was Darcy, couldn't do so, and the ball beats him over the line. Point the difference. Geelong lead, and number 18 you see on screen is Rene Peters, competing against Matthew Francis of the Tigers. Peters taps it with the left hand. Oh, Butcher taps it away too, but straight to Young. Young goes towards half forward for Richmond. Here's a chance for the Tigers as a kick around the corner comes right up in front of goal. That was good play. Very, very good play by the Tigers. It was kicked down there by Lindsay, and the mark has been taken by Michael Rice.
It's very wide open forward line. Richmond able to find the space there. The ball had been locked up on that Geelong forward line for a long time.
Rice from 12 metres on the left foot. Oh, he's hooked it. I think he's missed. Oh, what a shocking miss.
It was a bad miss, Pete. Young Michael Rice, he kicked 9 goals about round 18, round 19 of the year, and started off on the bench today.
Well, scores dead set level again, and no side able to shake off the opposition as the Geelong fullback Mark Neal brings it short. He's found his teammate in Scott McDonald. McDonald around the boundary line and appealing for the mark, and being paid it is Darcy.
Anthony Darcy on centre wing, sending the Cats forward in towards half forward. A big fly and a good mark taken by Matthew Payne. Payne between centre and half forward. The drop punt is high. Out comes Grundle. He's got a teammate, however, in front of him, and taking the mark is Brad Mawson.
That was a Royce Hart type mark, Bernie.
Yes, reminiscent, wasn't it, Peter?
Across the front.
Here it is again, Preston in front. Grundle also in good position to take that mark, and not a Richmond defender there contesting.
So David Preston has kicked 1 goal. He shoots, and he's pulled that to the left. So both sides having opportunities, and both at the moment unable to take advantage of them, Dennis.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Geelong had a problem all year. They kicked 27 points against Essendon a couple of weeks ago.
And a little bit of a fight going on. Well, that's hard to understand. Corey Young's in the thick of things, I think.
He sort of leads the way for the Richmond boys, Corey. You know, a very aggressive footballer. I think he's better served playing football, because he does lose his direction a little bit when he wants to push and shove.
Doesn't look too happy there at the moment. Nevertheless, the Tigers have pushed it up towards that right half forward flank. Seeing it over the line is Stephen Ryan.
He took on the wrong size bloke. The bloke he was fighting with was that big Court.
Oh, Corey doesn't care how big they are.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall, I think he adopts. So, throw in. At the moment, Geelong leads by a point, but it's on their half-back line at the moment. Getting the hand pass out was Powell. They've got a number of running players here. Paul should pick it up. He does. And from the centre, Paul going in towards Korth, and he marks inside 50. Shane Korth, 9 marks to Korth for the day, so he has been a real focal point.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best marks in the under-19 competition. He's not a very mobile sort of boy, but he's a strong mark.
He'll be kicking from just inside 50 metres. The drop punt is high. This is going to be close. It goes across the face. No mark taken. Young pushes the ball out in front of him, but then lose it. And just keeping an eye on him behind the play, and he's slung David Preston out of the way in no uncertain fashion. Pushed across the pocket. First to it will be Calms. Keeps it in play and bounces his way across that half-back line. Calms now goes onto the left foot. Kick is a disappointing one. Goes out of bounds on centre wing.
I think a few of the boys out there are starting to feel the pinch a little bit now. A few of the guys are just running up and down in the one spot, and it's very demanding for under-19 footballers to have this sort of match practice.
And you'd be hating seeing that, wouldn't you, as coach of North Melbourne?
Loving every moment of it, Sandy.
North sweating back there, waiting to play the winner of this important game. There's Pickering trying to crash his way through. Well, this is big Rene Peters. Gets onto a loose ball and hooks it towards half forward. It's fisted over the top. Here's a chance for the Cats. Hand pass coming from Jones. Further on it comes into an open goal. Here's a goal to Preston for the Cats.
Geelong has had in the game. They lead now by 7 points. So we go back to the middle once again. Doing the ruck work for the Tigers was Matthew Francis. He's kicked a couple of goals. We've got just under 9 minutes remaining in this crucial third term, and it's certainly at the moment belonged to Geelong. They've got the chance here through McDonald. Floats one. His target was Korth, but he's got a player going past. That was Langsworth. Can't do anything. On to Paul. Paul goes even wide. Is this another one for the Cats? The shot goes across the face of goal, and one behind only is the result. So the chances there for Kent Butcher, but just unable to grab it.
Again, Dennis, Shane Korth doing a lot of the heavy work off the ball. Some good shepherding work there. He's been fantastic on that Geelong forward line.
Even when he's not getting the ball, Bernie, he's opening a path for his smaller blokes to run through. Just watching this game here, it's a tremendous advertisement for under-19 football. I think both sides have done a tremendous job here. It just shows you how high the standard really is.
Walker's kick out has given Peters the chance for Geelong to score again. He brings it back. David Preston was loose, and Preston will have a shot 35 metres out, but on a pretty tight angle. Preston has kicked 2 goals. He has a look around, then heads for home. And the result is 1 behind. It seemed to float off the boot a bit, didn't it?
Well, it's a perfect day for kicking, so there's no excuse in that regard. There's hardly a breath of wind. And, well, no excuses, but the nerves obviously would get to. He looked very nervous as he came in to have that kick. There's the kick out coming to half back, or almost a good mark. Will it be paid to Peters? No, but the play on to McDonald. McDonald lets sail with a booming kick just offline and through for 1 behind. But the Cats doing all the attacking at the moment. They lead by 10 points, and another goal here would be a nice little margin. There's a young lady enjoying the old wholesome meat pie.
That's breakfast.
Well, it's pretty early to be eating a pie. Towards half back, the mark has been taken to the Tigers by Collery. But the Cats fans are out here in force today, and painted faces and streamers and beanies, all sorts of things. So I think the whole of Geelong will be here today. Towards centre wing, it's fisted on. Here's a chance for Flight. Flight, the short pass will go over the back. Who'll have the pace? Pickering tries to get there. Will it bounce through for a goal? Yes!
They trail now by 4 points, 13-11, plays 12-13. Francis tries to get it out of the middle again. Another one here with just on 6.5 minutes remaining, and it's certainly going to set it up for a big last quarter. It's inside 50 once again. Picked up by Flight, who heads towards goal. He doesn't have the same luck on this occasion, however. And one behind is the result. 12-14, 86. 3 points, kneeled again. Floating a punt to the outer side of the ground. They did have the numbers. Pushing the ball along in front, however, as Brett Steinholt has gone over the line.
It'll be interesting next week, Sandy, to see what the crowd will be. How many do you think they'd get out there, Dennis?
Well, I haven't got the faintest idea, Pete, but I was talking to Ray Jordan during the week, and he told me he was involved in a similar incident 8 or 9 years ago, and he said they'd 13,000 out at Skinner Reserve.
Well, I think I know the North Melbourne people are very keen to see him. Here's another one for the Tigers, surely coming up. It looks good, and it's kicked by Michael Rice.
And Richmond needed to fight back here a little bit, and there we can see the scores very close again. And Geelong were just starting to get away in this quarter. Richmond have fought back with 2 good goals late in this quarter, and they needed it because Geelong were playing very good football. The handball over the top, and Rice finishes it off. But we're seeing a good brand of football displayed by both sides, a good open game, and they are also tackling fiercely and putting plenty of pressure on as well.
Tigers have hit the lead by 3 points as they come forward again towards half forward. That was Cochrane who got it down there. Cats strong tackling. Flight tries to get his boot to the ball. There's a little attempted hand pass by the Tigers, but the umpire will come in and bounce. Half forward for Richmond, and Richmond seem to be showing a little bit more urgency now about their game.
Yeah, Francis getting the ball out the centre. It's so important when the players are tiring a little bit. Important centre bounce getaways.
It makes a difference when they have that big Corth in there at the centre bounces. That was beautiful football. Gone bad luck, but a good attempt by Payne. Tigers, they've got a loose man at half forward. The mark has been taken down there for them by Stuart Maxfield. Long kick towards the pocket. It'll beat the pack. Now, is that a mark? I don't think so. And a sensible play that by Ashley Lengsworth to take it through for a behind to Richmond. So the margin now is 4 points in favour of the Tigers. Anyone's game is kneeled. Brings it back into play towards the half-back line, over the back of the pack, a one-on-one contest. But the Cats, this time through Brad Mawson. Further afield, the Butcher. He's got a lot of class. Look at the pace. Oh, beautiful football. Look at this. 3 bounces, 4 bounces. Will he go over the top? Yes, he does to Preston. Preston into an open goal. No, he handballs back. Oh, it could be dangerous. McDonald straightens up. Oh, they made a mess of that, and he just sneaks it through for a behind. I think the handball was a good option, yes, but there was a bad hand pass.
Yeah, that's the only thing that messed up that play. The hand pass wasn't executed very well. Some brilliant play by Butcher along that outer wing, and he set it up beautifully, but that hand pass just fell short and gave the Richmond defenders a chance.
So the margin is now 3 points with just under 4 minutes remaining. Good mark taken by Maxfield. Goes in towards the centre. Bouncing ball eludes a couple of them, eventually picked up by Calms. Quickly sends Richmond into attack. Now pressure on the Geelong defence, but Neal's equal to it. Comes storming out and kicks over the centre once again. This ball moving very quickly from one end of the ground to the other. Preston unable to take the mark. Another opportunity for the Cats, however. It went from Peters to Payne, down towards the pocket region. Oh, the bounce is going to favour Geelong. Here's another one, kicked by Wilkes. And goal here at the MCG in the under-19s preliminary final. And a seesawing third quarter sees Geelong regain the lead by 3 points. Centre bounce once again. Tigers steadied with a couple of quick goals, and one kick by this man, Flight. Puts it down in towards the pocket region once again. May come back towards Flight. No, intercepted. That was by Cochrane. Keeps it in play. Back to Flight. There's the quick answer.
These goals are lift their teammates. There's another good goal by Flight. Good handball over the top by Cochrane. Very unselfish football.
Just quickly looking at the major scorers for the Tigers, as we have a look at that in replay. Corey Young has booted 3, and a number of players have kicked 2, including Robbie Elliott, Steve Cochrane, Darren Flight and Matthew Francis. Brett Steinhold has booted 1, so too has Nigel Gibbons and Michael Rice. Main scorer for Geelong, of course, is Andrew Wills, who's booted 6.
Well, a great game of football this is. Darcy brings it to half forward. Back it comes to centre wing. That's a high tackle on McDonald. He'll take it. But, oh, caught one in the mouth. He's trouble there too. But that was beautiful team play for that last goal to Flight by Richmond. Great play by Cochrane from the boundary line. Half forward, oh, that's a good mark. He's hugged it to the chest. This is Rundle. He's only kicked 1. That was from a doubtful free kick.
Yes, he hasn't done much to date, but he's got to be always watched. He's an excellent kick for goal, an excellent kick for goal.
Well, there's a long kick to the pocket, to the square, I should say. And there's a kick, a miraculous kick by Payne, and he's put it through.
It's almost unbelievable there to get through that heavy traffic. And Geelong answering every challenge. They've been very impressive in this quarter. A kick by Rundle into the forward line. Big Korth again, using his body, opening up the play. And look at this goal under enormous pressure by the Richmond defence. An amazing goal to Geelong. Kicked there by Matthew Payne.
What a game this is, Dennis.
It's tremendous, isn't it? You know, it's really good to watch this. I think the boys have put on a tremendous display, and there's going to be one side that has to lose, and that's the disappointment about it.
Well, 3 points the difference. This man's playing well now for Geelong. Darcy, and long kick. Which way will it bounce? Oh, that was courageous play to run straight at the ball like that. Francis, he took a big putt there and it came off.
Matthew Francis kicks back in towards the centre. Tigers just steadying down. No mark paid.
Was touched off the boot, I think, Sandy.
So play goes on. Farming out the hand pass on that occasion was Lindsay. Richmond unable to get it clear. Tapped high by Tompkins. Back to Steinhold now. Steinhold for the Tigers, going in towards Flight at the back, but a good tap away on that occasion for the Cats by Andrew Paul.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a certain mark to Cochrane. He's in the perfect spot, Dennis.
Yes, it was good defensive play, and you can't ask any more of your players with that sort of desperation.
Neil, a good kick back into play. Ball drops free on that 50-metre line. Trying to get clear, and eventually he does for Richmond, is Bowden. Going up towards full forward. There's a mark. Good mark taken by Steve Cochrane.
He's doing very well, Steve. He's set him alight, handballing, taking marks. He's doing a very good job on the Richmond forward line.
He's not a big player either, Dennis, only 175 centimetres.
Yeah, he's had a very good final series to date.
He has kicked 2 goals. And an important one here in the closing seconds of the third quarter. Cochrane shoots towards goal and has missed. Well, another chance going back. 14-17, 101. They trail the Cats by a point. And if you could pick the winner of this game from here, you're a better man than I, Gunga Din.
No, it's going to be very hard.
Neil back into play. Goes over the top. Pushed wide by Darcy. But then flicked back towards Pickering. Pickering goes in towards the pocket. Will it be Keogh? Clever tap back into play. Now the opportunity for Ryan. Shoots in towards goal on the siren. And has put through a behind. So there it is at three-quarter time. Guess what? Scores are level. Yes, this is unbelievable.
Very tight game. Stephen Ryan then missed the golden opportunity. Could have centred the ball to Bowden.
Three-quarter time. Richmond 14-18, 102. Geelong 15-12, 102. By Geelong 15-12, 102. Richmond 14-18, 102. Both sides had their chances to sneak away in that term, but some costly misses in front of goal. Well, we hope you're enjoying our one day in September on the Australian Television Network. The highlight, of course, is the Seniors Grand Final coming up later this afternoon. And one of the key players in this game, particularly for the Hawks, is half-forward Dermott Brereton. Let's take a closer look at the man who wears the number 23 Guernsey with pride.
Hawthorn's showcase Dermott Brereton has all the flair and skill of legends of days gone by, with his efforts at centre-half forward being a major reason for team success in recent years. Recruited from Frankston Rovers, Brereton's overall skills have made him an automatic selection for Victoria, and his dominance in finals labels him a big occasion player. Ever since his debut in 1982, the colourful Brereton has been one of the rare breed who can lift a team single-handedly.
Yes, Dermott Brereton just one of many key players in this afternoon's clash. But tell you what, speaking of clashes, we have got a rip-roarer here in the under-19s. Pete McKenna, Bernie Quinlan and Denis Pagan. What are your thoughts on this final quarter now? Who do you think's going to have the legs, Denis, to run out this game?
Well, it's very hard to say at this stage. Last week I thought Geelong would run away with Richmond. They didn't. Today it looks like Geelong might have a few more legs, especially with blokes like Butcher and Payne being able to run down the ground, that sort of thing.
Flip of the coin from me, Sandy. It's a very even game. You have a look at the scoreboard. They both had 11 shots in that third quarter. 4-7 Richmond to Geelong's 5-6, and they're even everywhere. Two very evenly matched sides, and gee, I wouldn't like to have a pick at this stage.
Well, the Richmond coach just having a few extra words to his charges.
I think the great thing about watching the under-19s is the enthusiasm of they're such young players starting off in, well, they're starting off in their league careers virtually, and they just show great enthusiasm, and when they kick a goal or do something well and they congratulate teammates.
Look, we've got scores level, and it's not hard to see why. Kicks the same, one in the handballs. The marking department has been led by Richmond, but the free kicks have gone the way of Geelong. Tackles, very even. The tackling, I think, Dennis, has been superb.
It's been first class. No, the kids should be really proud of their efforts today.
And not a great deal in the hit-outs either, and thankfully we haven't seen one 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, great.
So the scene is set.
There's Doug Searle, the former Fitzroy star. I think one year he kicked 80-odd goals at full forward, Bernie, and you eclipsed that record.
Yes, Doug was the leading Fitzroy goal kicker for a long time. Also played at Collingwood before he came to Fitzroy.
He certainly did. He was a teammate of mine when I first went to Collingwood, 1965. Doug and I competed actually for centre-half forward for a couple of years.
Yes, I went to school with Doug. He's a very, very talented cricketer as well.
Okay, here we go. Final quarter in the under-19s preliminary final. Scores are locked together. The question is, who can break away? Trying to come over the top was Darren Jones for Geelong. It's the Tigers who go quickly into attack, down towards their half-forward region. First goal is going to be of great psychological advantage. The bouncing ball drifts away. Getting into trouble on that occasion was Michael Rice. Ball underneath. The umpire said he was held, and so Rice will take a free kick, and receiving some attention is Glenn Keast in the hands of the trainers. But the action is with Rice. Kicked a goal in the third quarter, floating it high, going across the face and hammered over the line for a throw in Richmond's right forward pocket.
Typical left footer hooking it from left to right, Sandy. You'd see a lot of left footers kick that way.
Keast appears to be okay. Here's the throw in. Using two hands was Peters, and Pickering sees it over the line. Short haircut's all the fashion out at Tigerland, it would appear.
I think he might lack a yard in pace, Dennis. His older brother Michael's a great player, but not over quick.
Very talented footballer, but all the same.
Stephen Ryan trying to do it behind Peters on that occasion. Seeing it over the line was Matthew Payne. So no addition to the score. Richmond have it down in their attacking zone, and dearly love the first goal of this final quarter. Look at that desperation. At the bottom of the pack was Bowden, hammered wide by Paul, and again over the line. Stephen Ryan. Peters again in front, trying to get it down to his teammate in Payne. Or claimed was Andrew Lindsay.
Good tackle.
That's great tackling by Geelong.
Well, it's been a feature of the game, hasn't it, Bernie?
It certainly has, Sandy. Both sides have tackled really ferociously.
Flying high on that occasion was Ian Tompkins. So Tompkins is almost down to centre wing for the Cats. He drifts it in towards the centre, and a good mark taken by Corey Young. Young in the middle, sending Richmond back into attack. The kick to half forward unable to take the mark was Paul. Flight is at the back, but under plenty of pressure. A hurried kick by Cochrane gathers little distance. Geelong should get out of trouble. Kicked high by Langsworth back towards the centre, only momentarily, however. Inside 50 now for the Tigers once again. The fist came from Neal at the back of the pack. Waiting down in front was Mawson. Gets a hurried kick towards the boundary line. Chasing is Peters. Overrun, so Peters will get his chance. He shrugs the tackle but goes to ground and may just about lose the football. The kick in towards goal is off target and one behind only, but what it does do is give Richmond the lead thanks to Peter Lodge. They lead by one behind.
Well, great contest this. As the kick comes to the half-back line, it's fisted away. Chance now for Geelong. Oh no, he doesn't get the bounce, Butcher. There's a holding the man decision on the Geelong player in Brad Mawson. Mawson at the centre half-back area, brings it across the centre to half. Oh, what a brilliant mark. Now, this mark has been taken for Geelong by Grundle, and he is a great kick. He's about 60 metres out from goal. Looks like he's going to set sail for a kick at goal too. Look at that chuckling mark. Well, a nice looking drop punt up towards the square. Can they take a big mark? At the back was Corth appealing for it. I don't think it was a mark. Oh, the umpire's paid it. I don't think he had first grab at that.
No. I don't think Corth thought he had the mark either, Peter.
No,
I'm sure he was about to take.
On.
Yep, I'm sure he was
Let's
about
have
to
another
take
look.
off.
What do you think, Dennis?
Oh no, it didn't come up that bad on the replay. It was touch and go. Just shows you the advantage of having a big, strong, tall guy up in the forward line when everyone's tired.
Well, he's taken 10 marks. He's been an excellent player for Geelong. They trail by 1 point. And what a vital kick this is. He is 15 metres out, directly in front. Corth and slams it through. They've hit the front.
So this seesawing struggle continues. Geelong now by 5 points, 16-12 to 14-19. Who will meet North Melbourne in the grand final? Coming over the top was Jones again with a big fist. A high ball and marked by Davey. Plays on. Stephen Davies' kick up towards half forward. Young marks. That's good shepherding. Saw him free. 11th kick for Corey Young. Pushes it wide. The opportunity now for Walker. Just gets his kick away and it's effective. A good diving mark taken by Cochrane. Steve Cochrane has kicked a couple of goals, one in the second, one in the third. And this to give Richmond the lead again. A good look at the angle that Cochrane has. He's a right footer and he hits the post.
Starting to wobble back too, wasn't it?
Gee.
Yeah, it was a set shot from goal. Would have been a handy one if they'd have been able to put it through, but unable to convert.
So 4 points the margin now. Kneeled again. He was looking for Peters. Beaten for it. Bottles it up, however. And the big man will have to get up and do the run.
That youngster there, Dennis, has shown a bit of class. Stuart Maxfield.
Yeah, very talented boy. He broke his jaw earlier in the year and he would have made the Victorian Teal Cup side. Unfortunately, injury put him out.
Well, there's a shot at goal, hitting the post for the second time in as many minutes. Kick coming from Bowden. Or Bowden.
I think his father wore number 11 too, didn't he, Peter?
Yes, he did.
Bowden.
Michael Bowden.
So another point as Neal brings it back into play. Geelong starting to run. This is Mawson. Claim, but gets it away to Wills. He's out behind play. It could open the door for Geelong. Butcher has a chance inside 50. A bounce by Butcher. Shoots towards goal and puts it through.
The Cats have hit the front by 9 points, and boy, they'll be a better side next week when they play North, when they get those guys back from the reserves too. Centre of the ground, we have Preston coming forward. They're on a bit of a roll. Geelong, they look pretty confident. Nice hand pass comes across. Here they come again, the Cats. It's a kick by Davey, now towards full forward. Big Corth is in after. Tapped on again. Oh, it's Butcher. Another one to the Cats. Oh, they're on fire.
And that's 4 goals to Kent Butcher, a local boy from Geelong, recruited from Grovedale. And Geelong all of a sudden on fire and have opened up the biggest gap for quite some time in this match.
A very versatile player, Butcher. The first 2 finals games he played in the back pocket, and in the last quarter switched onto the ball and kicked winning goals against Essendon and against Carlton.
Dennis, would Mansfield, Paycor, Malacallis and Hill make a big difference to them next week?
Only Hill and Mansfield can come back.
Is that right?
Paycor and Malacallis have played too many games.
Have they?
I think you're trying to stir the pot a bit there, Pete, with Denis Pagan and North Melbourne. Well, let's see if Richmond can answer the challenge. They've got the opportunity. Here's Robbie Elliott, had a sensational start to the game. Can he lift his team now? Loses it, regains it. Well played by Elliott. Gets the hand pass away. It could be a shot at goal. Not by Walker. He gets the hand pass, and there is the quick answer. It's kicked by Bowden. Sean Bowden has kicked his first goal, and the Tigers are not out of this game yet.
I don't think you could write Richmond off at this stage. They've tremendous fighting abilities, and I certainly don't think Geelong will win it at this stage.
Wasn't a great play by Elliott running the ball down the ground there? Almost a play of the day by the young Tiger player.
Captain, eh? Captain setting the example, Bernie.
Set it up again, yes, and Bowden finishing it off with a good left foot goal.
So the margin is now 9 points. 9 points favouring Geelong. And if this is the shape of things to come today, what an afternoon of football we're going to be seeing on the Australian television network. Here we go in the middle, trying to slap it was Bowden, couldn't do so. We've got just over 17 minutes remaining, so there's still plenty of time for either side. Trying to smother was Payne. Does well. He's got to beat a couple of players. Now they come in to lend support. It's bottled up. Waiting over the top was Ian Tompkins. And we will have a bounce. In the cricket pitch practice area here at the MCG. Of course, Alan Border and the Australian team will be going around there a little bit later on in the day. Great to see them here. Under pressure was Bowden, trying to get it out to Cochrane. Loses it. Back again to Bowden. A high kick up towards the half-forward line. The Tigers trying desperately to get back into this game. Keast. Free kick on the half-back flank.
Yes, indiscriminate tackle there by a young Richmond player in Pickering. No, it was Ryan. And almost a reportable incident, that one.
Keast's kick back towards the centre. Oh, there's a good mark. Good mark taken by Ashley Prescott. Prescott up towards half forward, looking for flight, couldn't find him. The hurried kick. Now there's one straight towards the boundary line. Let's get out of here and get out. Don't mention John Beckwith.
I will not mention John Beckwith. He used to do it for years, didn't he, in the 50s, round that boundary line.
From the throw-in. Opportunity for Steinhoff. It gets claimed. Flicked over the top by Cochrane. And another flick. They're surging it down to Flight. He's under pressure. Beautiful hand pass across to James, and James is gone.
The action hots up next as 7 Sport brings you the thrilling climax of the Reserve's 1989 VFL season. Geelong versus Fitzroy in the Reserve Grand Final next.
It's now only lead by 3 points as Richmond come forward again through Walker. Oh, a bit of a push out. Oh, the umpires missed it. Oh, that's poor umpiring. I think that was a definite push in the back. It's been paid, though. Have a look at it. Oh, definite free kick. Michael Rice has got away with it. He'd be laughing all the way to the bank because this kick can put Richmond in front. Yes, straight through the middle. Very lucky goal, and he's not happy that... and he cops one for his corner, and he's off. And that is Neil, and I don't blame him. I'd be annoyed at that, Bernie. Umpiring good position and missed it.
Well, it was obvious, wasn't it, Peter? And let's have a look at it again. There's the nudge.
Oh!
There's something going on behind play. A couple of players got involved who needn't have got involved. One of those was Ryan, who had a few words to say, and he should have just kept out of it.
Geelong now under great pressure. This is Preston down towards the left half forward flank. Trying to keep it in was Simon Grundle, still with a chance, very close to that boundary line. Calms is there, gets it away. However, Richmond running hot at the moment, After trailing by 15 points, they now lead by 3 and are looking to go deep into their scoring zone once again. The kick comes up towards that centre half forward region. No mark is taken. Waiting down in front. Here's a chance for Flight. Shoots in towards goal. Has kicked it.
Well, he's given the Tigers a big lift, hasn't he? Flight, he's been very impressive with that crop of blonde hair. He really stands out. He reads the play so very well.
He came off the bench, Bernie. He's given them a bit of a lift, kicked goals. I think perhaps the Geelong boys may have thought they've had the game won. They seem to have stopped dead in their tracks.
Yes, he read that beautifully off the pack, and the left foot kick on the boot. And the Tigers are storming home at the moment after being well down earlier on in the quarter.
So the margin for the Tigers is now 9 points. And now the pressure is on Geelong. We've got just under 14 minutes of this final term remaining. And if Geelong can't get the next goal, they're going to be in a spot of bother. Stephen Davey does well. Kicks down towards the half-forward line, and the mark taken by Simon Grundle inside 50. Grundle goes long. Beautiful looking kick in towards full forward. It's drifted over the line for one behind. So 8 points in it now. 18-21 to 18-13. Young boot the ball and then will run it out of the back pocket. Shepherding is James. Young gets plenty of distance as he goes up towards centre wing. Ryan takes the mark for the Tigers and will centre in towards half forward. That's good play by Richmond, and the mark is taken there by Bowden. Kicked a goal earlier on in the quarter. Bowden from 50 metres. Good looking drop punt. What a lovely kick, and Richmond running home well.
14 points the margin. A tough job now for the Cats as the Tigers go forward again to half forward. A strong mark. Not paid. That was Bowden again. Cats try and take it away. This is Rene Peters, and straight into a brick wall. Hand pass over the top was by Powell. Found his teammate in Payne. Matthew Payne kicks to half forward. They want a couple of quick goals. They certainly do. This is McDonald. Brought the ground. How will the umpires see that? He will come in and bounce.
At one stage they were 15 points down, this Richmond side, so they've got plenty of spirit. They've fought their way back in. That just looked as if Geelong were getting on top, and all of a sudden Richmond have found a second wind.
It's almost a bit of a copybook of last week, isn't it?
Very, very similar. There's Payne again, try and get boot the ball. He does so up towards half forward. There's a lot of flyers. Hand pass comes to Butcher. Butcher! Oh, hits the post. Well, I suppose that's fair enough because Richmond had a poster earlier in the quarter, 2 in fact. There's Butcher. He's been a very, very well, glamorous player today. He looks as though he's got a lot of talent, that kid, number 12. They're not out of it yet, Geelong, because it's been that sort of game. Here they come again by Grundle up towards the pocket. There's no one there for the Cats, and the mark has been taken for the Tigers in defence. Across the ground it goes to Elliott, the captain. He's kicked 2 goals. His first quarter was outstanding, but he's a little bit more quiet since then. 15 kicks and 9 handballs. Off he goes. And one beautiful passage of play earlier in this quarter. Towards the centre of the ground, it's a bad kick straight into the hands of the Geelong player in Langsworth. He's got 2 loose men. And this man at half forward, I think it's Davey. Stephen Davey. Need someone to take a mark here. Peters in front. The ball hits the deck. In they go after it. Sock it off the ground. What's the fortune? Because the man waiting for it was Pickering. Lovely kick on the left boot to centre wing. James couldn't take the mark. This is Flight. Chasing the ball out towards the boundary line. Desperate play by all players concerned. The umpire will come in and bounce. The scoreboard showing 15 points the margin in favour of the Tigers.
And just over 10 minutes of this final term remaining. .135 to 122. Favouring Richmond. Scores were level at 3/4 time. First of all, Geelong went away, then Richmond, to their credit, have come back and come back very strongly. Corf wins it down, looking for Glenn Keast, can't get it out effectively. Eventually it should finish with Butcher. Loves a run, gets leg, but manages to get the hand pass away to a teammate in Mawson. Mawson puts Geelong inside 50. No mark to Corey Young, but he's the first to recover. Almost has it stolen. In fact, does eventually lose it. Trying to storm through was Payne. Out the back door it comes now. Here's a chance for Geelong. The long kick is by Darren Jones. It's not a good one, however, and goes out of bounds in the left forward pocket. So just over 9 minutes left. Geelong have it in their scoring zone, but if they don't get the next goal, they're going to be in real trouble. Gollery brings it away to the outer side of the ground. No mark taken there by Ryan, and another throw-in. Well, if you may have just joined us, conditions here at the MCG absolutely ideal for football. We've got a current temperature of around 18 degrees. It's a little bit overcast. Couldn't ask for anything better. Under pressure was Ryan. At the bottom of the pack, Scott McDonald, and the umpire said it will be a Richmond free kick. And it will go to Stephen Ryan. Still a little bit of feeling. Of course, it's knockout time for these two teams. The loser says farewell for the season. The winner goes on to play North Melbourne at VFL Park at 2 o'clock next Saturday. This is Adam James on centre wing. Pickering saying push it wide to the flank. Possibly not quite that wide. So out of bounds on the full, and Geelong have got to get a wriggle on. Time is ticking away. Keith Clay recovers well. On to Corp. Slow to get rid of it. Loses it to Pickering. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Pickering kicks up towards the forward line. No mark is taken. Now Powell. Quick to apply the tackle. There to help him is Neal. The umpire says line ball will have a bounce on the 50-metre line.
Keast actually handball from a free kick then.
Yeah, it's happened a few times this year. I know in the under-19 finals, 3 separate occasions it hasn't been picked up.
Well, it's at half-back for the Cats. There's Cochrane for Richmond, bringing it around the corner up in front of their goal. Butcher taps it straight over the line, but the umpire lets him get away with that. Interesting to see if this youngster really goes on and makes a name for himself in VFL ranks. Certainly got the skill. There's Cochrane again, brought to ground. Back it comes to Butcher, smothered off his boot. Hand pass comes further afield to Corth, and again the Cats get out of defence. Right out wide, Richmond bringing it towards the centre of the ground, but as Payne was waiting for it. Here come the Cats. The loose man is there. The short pass is on, and the big man has taken it down there in Rene Peters. He's 35 to 40 metres out directly in front. They need this one bad. This will be a real contest if he can put this through. It's 7 points the margin if he kicks this goal. It's floating back. Yes, it's through.
7 points the margin, favouring the Tigers. They go into attack again through James. Floating a kick high down towards full forward. Heavy work there by Neal. Snap in towards goal. There's the quick answer, I think. Yes!
Yeah, it's going to make it very hard now for Geelong to fight back again. Every time they've been able to go forward, they've been thwarted, and Richmond replied very quickly on that occasion.
Second goal to Michael Rice, and it was James who got it out of the centre, Dennis.
Yeah, he's a very talented player, James. He's always dangerous, very, very quick, very elusive footballer.
So more breathing space for the Tigers. Cats making a change. Nick Stevens coming back out onto the ground. From the centre bounce, James leaves it for Pickering on this occasion. Pickering spirals a punt down towards half forward once again. No mark to Neal, sort of bounced off his chest. Oh, it might open the door for another one. Bowden has it, shoots it towards goal, and has kicked it.
And that's 3 goals to Bowden in this final quarter. And that's just about shut the gate. It's going to be very difficult now. Richmond opening up a big gap, 19 points in front at this stage. and seem to be getting the ball so very well out of the centre, where it's all very important, Dennis, and giving the Richmond forwards the first option, a wide open forward line, getting the ball down there quickly, and they've got the talented forwards who are able to finish it off.
That's right, Bernie. Their little blokes have really come into it. Bowden, James, Elliott, been giving them plenty of forward thrusts.
Well, there's only 5 minutes of play left, so it almost looks curtains for Geelong, because they need 4 scoring shots. And here come Richmond again, this time through Adam James, now towards the pocket. Cochrane, high tackle. So
He ducked into it, Peter. He ducked right into it.
well, it was still, he was grabbed round the head. We might see it again in a moment. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, come on, that's why they...
there, let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Where does he go? Straight to the ground.
Definite free kick to turn it up.
I can't believe you.
He's directly in front and should kick a goal from there. Stephen Cochrane going for his third has missed.
We'll get Dennis's opinion on that one.
What do you think, Dennis?
Well, I can't help but agree with Bernie. I did think he fell to the deck, and the Geelong bloke had no option but to grab him around the neck.
But the rule says you can't grab a man round the neck. So
but if you duck into it,
but you've
you
got to
contribute to the free kick, so you don't pay.
Let's not worry about it at the moment, gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's been given, and Preston has it with 4.5 minutes remaining. Corey Young's the flyer. Can't take the mark. Geelong poured through Darcy's hand pass. The Cats see time ticking away as Payne flicks it in towards full forward. Good mark taken in that position. This is Grundle. But I think time may be against them. They trail by 20 points. Grundle has kicked only the one.
Yes, he's got a bit of ability, undoubtedly, Sandy, but I think he needs to build up, Dennis.
Yeah, he's very thinly built, not much upper body strength, but he's certainly got a lot of talent.
He's kicked the goal there. A big ask for Geelong. 14 points down, 3.5 minutes remaining. Now Richmond have always been able to answer the challenge when Geelong have scored. Pickering's got a free kick just forward of centre. I would imagine he won't be in a great rush, and he should go long. Spiralling a punt down towards a congested half-forward region. Waiting for it was James. James in again. He's not the one that comes out of it. Will go past Keast. Taken out was Darcy. They're still going at it hammer and tongs, these boys. Pickering taken out. Heavy work there. Now Powell. Powell kicks for Geelong over the centre, down towards half forward. Here's a chance for the Cats, although Corey Young, bang goes Corey Young. He's a solid player. Butcher over the top. Young again is very quick to apply the tackle. The umpire said it was a push. Corey says, who, me?
Tell you what, a goal here would make it interesting.
Well, Payne has it. Outside 50. Long kick by Payne. In towards full forward. Oh, at the back. There's another one to Butcher. And Geelong are not out of this yet. Butcher has kicked 5-3 in the last quarter.
It's an amazing game of football. You know, I thought Richmond are going to run away with it. Geelong is still in it with a chance, and even though it's late in the quarter, anything could still happen.
Yes, the defence there of the Tigers wasn't all that good. They were really set up to thump that away or thump it through for a behind, and they didn't, and that allowed Butcher to sneak in and kick that goal.
Very talented young player, number 12 for Geelong. Great player all day. Margin is 8 points. Can the Cats do it? They want a goal right now. Here they come again. This time through Payne. Oh, the mark dropped by Claude, but they've still got a chance. Hook round the corner. Oh, just missed. Wow.
And Peter, he chose to ignore the player in the goal square, who was Grundle. And had he popped that over, it would have been a certain goal to Geelong.
Only thing, did he see him because he was kicking around a corner? David Preston. That makes the margin 7 points. They need the next goal right now. 1 minute and 31 seconds of play left. The short one out wide is with Ryan. Ryan around the boundary line. Now, will it bounce out? Geelong don't want it out. But it did.
Tell you what, Dennis, you see a game like this, and really it is disappointing to have a loser, isn't it?
No, you're exactly right, Sandy. Look, it's very tough for one side to miss out here.
But one is going to go on and play North Melbourne at VFL Park at 2 o'clock next week. Unless, of course, history is created. We have another draw. Wills draws the player, gets the hand pass away. Time ticking away for Geelong. They've got under a minute to go. They want a mark here and a goal. A big fist sees it comes down, still inside 50. Taken by McDonald. Gets the hand pass away. The shot at goal. It looks good. Geelong is still in the race as Darcy puts through his first. So the margin now is 1 point.
Could it be a draw?
Oh, don't say it.
Well, this is amazing, isn't it? It's an amazing game. Geelong were completely out of it with about 5 minutes to go. They fought back Sandy. And here's the goal from Darcy. And whoever wins this ball out of the centre, it's very important for Geelong to get the ball out of the centre. They just need 1 point to tie it up.
36 seconds on the clock. 1 point the difference. Here's the centre bounce. Past James of Richmond it goes, but it's soccered forward by the Tigers. Down towards their 50-metre line. Free is Paul. Gets the hand pass away. Out looking for Payne. Payne has possession, but then loses it. Pushed over the line. Valuable seconds ticking away. We are down to 12 seconds left. And Geelong are going to have to whip it down there so quickly. Doing the ruck work was Peters. Flight gets a hurried kick, but it's in the right direction as far as Richmond are concerned. Only a second to go. And there it is. Richmond are into the under-19's grand final. They have done it by a point. And elation for the winners. Corey Young comes over, and bitter disappointment for the losers. Richmond have held on to win by 1 point. Here's what you can't believe it.